Some of our favorite games of all time stick with us due to the hard work of composers and songwriters that provide us with hours of music that accompany our adventures no matter the size. From 8-bit chiptunes to sweeping orchestral tracks or rocking vocals, our favorite games all have an iconic song that fully encapsulates what the vibe of the game is. In our eyes, an anthem is a song that gets us ready for the upcoming journey, but leaves us nostalgic and pleased after the fact. More than an iconic theme, an anthem represents the best moments and feelings we experience while we do our favorite pastime, playing games. The most recent entry in the God of War franchise, God of War from 2018, is an incredible journey centered on the relationship between a father and son. As the game kicks off and we're introduced to this newer, wizened Kratos, and we see his relationship with Atreus and the allusions to his mother Faye, we get a new experience, a new look into the eyes of the God of War. Composer Bear McCreary offers several emotional tracks throughout the God of War soundtrack, but the self-titled God of War truly encapsulates the entire journey, from the subtle beginning, starting off in your cottage, going up through countless tasks, reaching the mountaintop. This track fully represents that journey and makes us remember the great moments throughout the game. While Dragon Quest is praised by some and criticized by some for its simplicity, it's safe to say the series has perfected the classic style of a JRPG. The main overture present throughout many different variations of the series reflects this simplicity and excellence, starting timid and building up to a bombastic embodiment of the excitement we feel when we embark on a classical adventure in the world of any Dragon Quest game. While some may argue its place in the overall series ranking, the main theme for Super Smash Bros. Brawl is undoubtedly the most fitting for the historic crossover series. The fast pace of the piece, accompanied with the Latin operatic chants, set the stage for what feels like the darkest entry in the series so far, especially when you remember Subspace Emissary is here. Where Melee's theme seems to celebrate the union of so many iconic franchises, the opening theme of Brawl is epic and bombastic, really preparing all challengers for the countless hours of fighting the game will supply. When Uncharted first launched on the PS3, the Jak and Daxter successor from Naughty Dog had yet to become the critical darling we all know it to be today. We all know the original pitch from the GameStop salesman or our friend who played the game before us. It's a modern-day Indiana Jones. The pulpy spirit of Uncharted is conveyed straight away from hitting the main menu. Nate's theme, much like the character, has grown seasoned over time. The piece by Greg Edmondson fully encapsulates this spirit, thrill, and action of every adventure we experience with Nathan Drake. Donkey Kong is one of gaming's oldest veterans. Transitioning from arcades to home consoles and handhelds, Donkey Kong Country tossed aside the old image of Cranky Kong in arcades, literally, for a newer and more hip DK. This DK, along with a new theme from composer David Wise, has carried the ape through several decades, with the newest release, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, showcasing the various stylings of David Wise, experiencing jungle beats, all jazzy. But the most joyful of these tunes can be found in some of the secret levels in Tropical Freeze, for example, Bopopolis, where DK does some pretty intense platforming, set to a new rendition of the classic Jungle Japes theme. Persona is a series well beloved for its music, from the somber, edgier tunes in Persona 3 to the hip-hop of Persona 4. Persona 5 released, and from the moment the world presented itself to us, the jazzy style and artistic flair of the opening cinematic made a bold statement. Before the battle theme, before sneaking into a palace, and before experiencing a rainy day in Japan, Wake Up, Get Out There presented itself as a bubbly, jazzy romp that accompanies the core cast of Phantom Thieves dancing through Japan. Persona 5 is stylish, has an attitude, and is incredibly charming. The game's opening sequence conveys this and its core themes perfectly. Jump into the world and help those who need it.
If we don't break out here, wake up, get up there.
The third installment in Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid franchise greeted players with an incredibly cinematic opening theme. Snake Eater as a song can go toe-to-toe with almost any James Bond film's opening theme because it fits so perfectly. If you showed somebody Snake Eater and told them it was the theme for the next Bond film, do you think they'd have a hard time believing it? Because we don't. The insane lyrics and epic melody of the track lends itself to the espionage action that we see in Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, and it no doubt will be timeless for years to come.
I give my life, not for honor, but for you.
While 1-1 may be one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic video game tracks of all time, we believe that the athletic theme from Super Mario World surpasses it in almost every way. As far as representing the pure joy it is to jump around as Mario, the athletic theme pretty much sets the scene for just that. It's fun, lighthearted, fast-paced, and really just invites you to explore its world. Although the athletic theme almost faded away from several Mario installments past Super Mario World, it sticks out to us as one of the core and iconic Mario themes. Dearly Beloved has become an iconic mainstay for every entry in the Kingdom Hearts series. Upon booting up each game since the original in 2002, players are greeted with the subtle and emotional piano piece by composer Yoko Shimomura. While the vocal themes for each major installment by Utada Hikaru are more well known and great in their own right, the nostalgic melody of Dearly Beloved is always there to greet you, back into the world of Kingdom Hearts for every journey, no matter the time, no matter the circumstance. Throughout its 25 plus years of existence, the Legend of Zelda series has received several iconic themes that any franchise would be lucky to have one of. From the Song of Storms, Midna's Lament, Dragon Roost Island, and even the toned-back melodies of Breath of the Wild's piano, The Legend of Zelda is iconic in its music. Being the classical adventure game, the main theme of The Legend of Zelda truly represents the spirit of adventure we feel as Link, exploring Hyrule, Termina, or wherever he finds himself next. The slow build of the track that leads into a truly epic adventure of a score really represents our first footsteps into the world of Hyrule for each adventure as Link. It may be the obvious choice, but it's a classic that's stuck around for this long for a reason.